Hi there, Lindsay here, the Frugal Crafter. Today we're going to make a marker organizer. I have a marker organizer behind me in all my videos where I'm like doing sat chat or talking to the camera, and I always get asked about it and I can't find them to buy anywhere. I bought it from a scrapbook store that was going out of business back probably about 16 years ago. So I haven't been able to find one to recommend. That was a pen display, and short of having a store and purchasing $1,000 worth of pens, I don't know if you can get that. So I thought I would try to make one, and what I came up with as a building block for this project are these 3-compartment organizers from Dollar Tree. These are available in the kind of like the health and beauty aisle of Dollar Tree. In my Dollar Tree, it was on the bottom shelf, kind of near where like you would find like bath poofies and loofahs and health and beauty, that sort of thing. So you may have to ask somebody where they are. And it's actually a nice plastic. I thought it was going to be kind of like chintzy, like styrene or something, and brittle, but it actually feels like acrylic. I don't know if it is or not, but it's, oh, I could probably give you the number there. I don't know if that would help you look it up. I couldn't find it online, but there's the barcode if you want to pause it and write it down. But it's just called 3-compartment organizer from the home collection. And yeah, I'm excited. Now you want to take all of the labels off, and they peel off really easily, which is nice. If they don't peel off easily, what I'd recommend doing is taking a hairdryer and gently heating up the label, and that will usually help it come off. I don't recommend soaking them in water just because sometimes it makes it actually break apart, but I didn't have any problems taking them off any of these. So I apologize, it's kind of hard to see what these look like because they're clear. But what I'm going to do is I am going to glue and stack these. If you look here, hopefully it'll show up a bit. I'll put my hands to the sides to help give a little contrast. There is a bit of a taper on these, and I think this is actually going to work to our advantage and make the box taper a little bit so that when we stack and glue, we're going to have a nice we're going to have a little bit of an incline that will help our markers not fall out. So I bought 10 of these. So my plan is to do 2 wide and 5 high. Although, you know what? I'm noticing there's also a little bit of taper side to side. So maybe I'll just do them 1 row and then leave them. Now, if you're worried about making a mistake, maybe you want to be able to undo it, you could use a low temperature hot glue gun for this, but I'm going to use super glue, the Gorilla super glue. And the reason I like the Gorilla super glue is that it actually has some rubberized particles in it, and I find that it just does a really good job at not becoming brittle, and it's also really clear. I've used this to fix my refrigerator had like a cracked door at one point. I used that to fix it. It worked really well. So I'm just gonna, and you have a little bit more working time than with some other super glues. So I'm just going to line this up as carefully as I can. And if you have a straight edge or something, you could actually use it to just press them against and make sure you've got them fairly lined up well. And then you can also look at, oh gosh, you can look at the dividers and make sure they're lined up. So I'm just gonna set these aside. I'm just gonna line these up and then repeat. So I'm gonna do 2 stacks of 5 of these. One thing I noticed as I was gluing this, putting on my 5th one here, is that smaller dabs of glue is better. You do not need a lot. If you put too much, it's gonna make it slippery. So just kind of keep that in mind. You just need a little dab of this stuff. And you will notice it starting to tip back as you glue it up. I want it to tip back, but you could shift it forward a little bit if you wanted to. But I kind of like this slightly leaning back because then it's like less likely to fall forward on a shelf. And when this gets like filled up with markers, it's probably going to be kind of heavy. So yeah, make your 2 stacks of 5 and then let it dry completely before we proceed. All right, I've got the 2 cases together. You can see that they've got a nice taper back, so they will lean a little bit back, and I think that's going to help it not fall forward if you have it on your shelf. Just use little dots of the super glue. It did take a long time for it to dry, I think because it's so humid here and the air couldn't get in between. And I think I see a little bit of discoloration in some of the areas where the super glue was. So, I mean, if you want to use a different glue, that would totally be fine. I just wanted it to hold together. Once you have markers in it, it's not really going to show. So what I'm going to do now is fill it up with markers, and I've just got this set of ohuhus here, and I figured that would be a good one to fill it up with, and because they're kind of like, there's a lot of markers that are this size. This is like the size of the look at this, because these are all the same size as a copic. So let's see, if you're a copic user, how many, let's see, per cube you'll get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You'll get 10 per cube. I think that's pretty good. Let's see if it's the same. Let's see if it's the same for the middle cubes. Let's see, what do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep. And let's try the last cube. Let's just make sure it's still 10 per cube. Let's get that so you can see it. So what I'm going to do is actually fill it up with these markers just to make it pretty for the photo. But what I think I'll end up doing is either putting my paint pens, my acrylic paint pens, or my water-based markers in here. Let's see, what can we get for markers in this last cube? I think it's probably the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so 10. So we get 30 per container that we buy. So that's how you can figure out if, well, obviously if you have a different type of marker, if you have a round barrel marker, it's going to take fewer. So let me just grab, some round markers and we can see. Oh, you know, I don't have, well, I probably have enough of like pro markers. Let's grab some pro markers and prismacolors and see. That way you can plan, and that way when you go to the store you can decide what you're going to need. So if you've got a round marker like the round ohuhus, the pro markers, prismacolor, Letraset, Alta New, I don't think they're going to be as... Are these bigger than other ones? Let's see, you get one. Yeah, it doesn't work as good for... Maybe it's because I have them pointed. Well, you don't have the... You'd want to have... Okay, so you can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of your round markers will fit. So you can get between 8 and 10 markers per. And if you have like skinny markers, like water-based markers, let's grab a handful of those and see what we can get in for water-based markers. I got all kinds. I got all the brands. Let's see. Oh my gosh! Did I like grab just about the right amount? Oh my gosh! Wait, that's a. Typically, you don't have the bigger ones like that. Let's get a couple of the skinnies here. But this is gonna look the best if you have all the same markers. So let's see. How many can we get? Oh, we might even be able to get one more. And of course, this is just for you to have an idea. Alright, so this is a pretty tight fit, but let's see, for if you're doing water-based markers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So you can do 18. So between 8 and 18. So per container. So 18 times 3, if you had the water-based markers, let's see, 20 times 3 would be 60 minus 6, so 54. 54 water-based markers per one section that you buy, 30 standard alcohol markers, or 28 times 3 is 24, right? 24 of the chunky markers. So that's it. That way you can figure out what you need when you go to the Dollar Tree. So what I'm going to do is fill this up, take some photos, and I'll put those up on the screen so you can see them all filled up and what they're going to look like. And yeah, this concludes the marker build video. I just wanted to do a little clip before we go here and show you the markers, kind of the stands, how they are in comparison to the big one I had back there. Obviously, the ones we built today were smaller, but one of the nice things is you can leave them upright like that whenever you want to store them, but then when you're ready to work with them, you can carry them over to your desk. And it's a little easier to work with your markers when they're stored like that. And then just flip them back on their side like that when you're ready to store them for good. I really can't move that around because it's too heavy. So that that would actually probably be a little bit more practical. Now, if you don't want to spend any money on your storage, I don't blame you. I'd rather spend money on the supplies. That marker box there was made by taking Nutri-Grain boxes and taping them together. That one right there is a dog food packet box. It was super sturdy, so I thought that would be perfect for my acrylic paint pens. Now, of course, I can cover it with contact paper or scrapbook paper or fabric and make it look cute, but it works just the way it is. So don't feel like you have to keep up with any sort of influencer, any sort of fancy artist. You do you. Work those supplies. That's the important thing, is what ends up on the canvas and the paper, not how your studio looks. But I don't know. It is nice to walk into a cute studio. So I hope you found this DIY marker rack helpful. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and please give me a thumbs up before you go. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy crafting. Bye.